Ride or ride, ride or die.
It is back to work Tuesday. Hopefully a lot of you are still on holidays, and that's all right. Thanks for making time. It is the Sports Cage. 4 Saskatchewan lotteries on this Tuesday, the main fundraiser for sport, culture, and recreation in our province. A little rider jingle off the hop because we are riding high. We are 7-1. Things are happening in Saskatchewan. Labor Day is a sellout. Riders are rolling into the break. Whether you're maybe at work, at the lake, whatever you're doing, thanks for making time today. It's going to be Curtis in the pocket today. And Maz will be joining me in a bit here. All of our guests join us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, all the Greek favorites that you like. Our sports tickers are for Overhead Door and Steelcraft Doors in Regina. For our good friends at Extreme Hockey and Sport, where they have the price match guarantee and Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Join in 936-6262. We welcome all comments. 936-6262. It's for Prairie Land Rentals. Anything you need to rent for that summer job, maybe into the fall, 600 Albert Street, you get to deal with the owner. Luke Mullender is going to join us in a bit here. Arash Madani's on the docket. Glen Suitor. Also in hour 2, Amanda Ruller. Female football coach. Coaching female football at the university level. Like, I'm so curious to talk to her, Saskatchewan girl, getting things done, also coaching men's while down at university. So we'll talk to her in hour 2. Like I said, Maz is with me. Maz is the diehard Rider fan. We're all Rider fans. Bets came in on the weekend again, except I didn't hit the Del Duncan Besby anytime touchdown bet. Had the Riders to cover, easily covered. You got to, I don't even know where you're at right now. At 7-1. Like waking up every day, whistling, joyous occasion. Or you, let's hold on here. It's not even Labor Day.
Right after the game on Saturday, I went back to check and see what the experts said, like the CFL experts, what the betting lines were, all of everything. Because
throw out any names? Do you want to throw anybody under the proverbial bus?
No, a lot of experts.
Okay.
I don't think anybody foresaw what was going to happen on Saturday. The Riders played, I don't know if it's their best, they played their most complete game. And Montreal, with all those injuries, they played probably their worst game of the season. The Riders were dominant at 7-1, but nobody, I thought, had said the Riders were going to go in there and roll 34-6. And we're just going to mop the floor. And then you see the video afterwards. It looks like Coach Corey Mace is giving his post-game speech in a broom closet to 3 guys, and he has to turn around 8 times to do that motivational speech. It was like an episode of Seinfeld, the Montreal dressing room. He's back and forth.
When Elaine's trying to get the Oriental food and they won't deliver it across the street. That episode? Oh,
like
yeah.
He's faces up and down. Curtis, we
got
to find the video. It's on the Riders' social media page. Love the speech, but the dressing room's a joke. And you just see it be like he's got like 2 cubic feet to work with. 7-1, no complaints. But since all we do is win and we may never lose another game, me and a bunch of other Rider fans online, now we complain when we win. My only issue with Saturday's game was there was 7 minutes left. I think the score was 31 something or 30-6 or whatever. I thought, ooh, why are we leaving Trevor Harris in? The game's really not in doubt. Like, let's not have just like a rando type situation play where a guy rolls on an ankle or something. Like, let's get him out of there.
Oh,
because, and you'd ask some people, hey, is this the best Rider team? Like, how you feel about all this? My acronym is THSH. Trevor Harris stays healthy. Long as that happens for the rest of the season, I feel good. We just got to make sure that he stays upright.
I was almost yell at TV guy, and I think I might have been. My kids, and they'd sometimes listen, they'd be able to correct me if I'm wrong. I was up in the North Country, I think I did yell at the TV, why in the world is Trevor Harris still in this football game?
There's 7 minutes left. It's garbage time. That dude from the Alouettes, the one with the makeup all over his face, like, he scares me. Like, he'll take a 15-yard penalty if he can get a cheap shot in on Trevor Harris. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Let Tommy Boy go in. Like Jake Mayer go in. Like anybody but Trevor Harris.
Why not? Why not a little Jake Mayer? You could almost have ran him in there in the most of the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. Let Jake eat, as they say. But it's 31-6.
Yeah.
Please take him out of the base. Take him out of the ball game. Hey, AJ, I know your job is to run, and you run violently. Ooh. And Mario, you're up, bud.
I thought Mario Anderson proved that what people were saying about him in training camp, that we didn't see him in the first couple games, which got him cut. He had a couple of really nice runs there, and I thought, oh, this Mario Anderson. Now I can see what I think it was Luke talked about in training camp. Hey, other than that, no complaints, 7-1. Would you agree, Barney? That was the most complete game that we played, all the phases, dominant from the start. Nobody predicted the Riders were going to go in there and walk all over Montreal. I checked. Nobody was that bold to say we're going to go in and just kick the you-know-what out of them.
Riders put on those white home jerseys in Montreal, BC Place, I find. Maybe it's the scars of my youth that I'm like, oh no, they're not gonna play well here. For sure, their most complete game of this season from what I see. What do I know? I don't know. But they look fully, completely hip style. And Coach Mace, after the game, kind of talks about them finally, for lack of a better term, putting their throat on the opponent.
I think this whole week for us, everything was built about being able to finish, man. That was, last couple of weeks, even though we get away with the W, we wanted to have convincing wins, right? So the progression has been just be us every play, play with conviction. And last piece was the finish. And today I thought we did all three.
Finish him.
You did it. The finish him. Street Fighter. So I never liked that video game, by the way. But it was, I think, again, it's only August, statement game. Because people were like, well, all right, let's see how they do. And yes, the Alouettes have injuries.
Yes.
They're starting quarterback. Okay, but Davis Alexander, he could be a star in this league for a long time. We don't know. And nobody listening to this program really knows, and no one in this province really knows. You can lie to yourself, look in the mirror. We don't know how good he's going to be. But even him out, and what McLeod Bethel Thompson and how he looked managing the game in Calgary the week before, I was like, nah, they're still going to be good. And they had some receivers missing. But what about us? What about our injury situation? Like, we are not even close to a Hyundai. We got guys missing, guys in walking boots. So, hey, I am being a little rah-rah here, but 936-6262. Kind of maybe our first question of the day. Where's your confidence with this team? Are you confident? Or does it take you back to what year for you, Maz? Does it take you back to where you were like, oh yeah, oh we're a buzzsaw here. Watch out.
So in reading online after the game, the last time the Riders had a record like this or similar to this was 2013 when they won the Grey Cup. But the big difference for me is, remember when Durant was playing, like when he prime Durant those years, like he was a warrior. He would take a licking and he'd still drag himself out there. Like you could tell he was physically hurt, like not like those injuries that took him off the field, but if he could walk, he would play. He was a warrior.
By the way, you got Darian Durant coming up tomorrow on the show.
Oh, nice.
Tease.
Nice.
Okay, go ahead.
So in that, to me, that's where the quarterback situation's different, because Durant being just who he was, if he could play, he was out there. With Harris, and I was trying to look back, there's not a lot of Trevor Harris seasons where he's played all 18 games. It's just how it's worked out. Hey, as long as he stays healthy, And trust me, we want him stayed healthy. It's all good. But, just think back. This was the start of it a year ago when the 7-game slide went on because he got hurt on an innocuous play against the Elks. And then it all sorted to now. Is our depth better at court? Yes, a lot of yes, but Trevor Harris running our offense and anybody else running our offense this year, there is a drop off. No disrespect, but Harris is on fire. I mean, getting the ball out, and what does Suitor always say? Like 2.4 seconds. That completion percentage, like he is the guy if we're going to win, and he's got to be in there. Look at the Bombers.
Yeah. Brandon texted in, Prairie Line Rentals text line, I suck. It was from Mortal Kombat, not Street Fighter. The finish him. Play it again. You got it again? You don't have it again? Okay. Finish him. Mortal Kombat. Double Dragon was where it ended for me in karate video games. Except that awesome Nintendo one where you were like, and the snakes, you'd have to jump over top of them and all that. That was really good. And then I did a little bit of Double Dragon. And then after that, I wasn't on board. So thanks, Brennan, for the message. We have we got some long texts here that I'm going to have to read unless, Curtis, you want to proofread those and get them out because people are talking about the confidence level and where they are. For me, it kind of all blends together. I don't really remember a time that I was like, holy cow, we are, and like, we don't want to talk about the injury bug. Things are going to happen. We've seen it already, and things are still going to happen, and we're not even close to, October, Labor Day. Where we are right now, here's the thing. Clip 2, Coach Mace coming up. Here's the thing that I find very encouraging. We are rushing the crap out of everybody with just 4 guys. It's like it's like the New York Giants back in the day. They would just get pressure with 3 or 4 guys. It was like, how are they doing that? Here's Coach Mace after the game talking about how they're making hay with 4 guys.
Anytime you can rush forward and then be able to cover down, that's a dream. We get a lot of guys in that room. We believe we can. Now those jokers, they want it. Luke, they want it every time. Hey, call 4. Yeah. But just being able to mix it in, and not be so predictable. Man, they make it a little bit easier for us as a defense.
McLeod Bethel Thompson, and just knowing you were going to face him, can run a little bit, but he's not Davis Alexander. Because Davis Alexander got some wheels. He can get outside, and he's not afraid to run up the middle either. And I think the other thing, too, is we saw this against the Stamps. When the Stamps knew that Trevor Harris may run a tiny bit, but he's not a runner. And if they can get him, they can get him. And I think that played into our hands. I thought Charleston Hughes said on Friday he didn't think that the Riders were going to be able to run against the Alouettes, but they were. They were able to establish that early with Ouellette, which I think made things a whole lot easier. And yeah, it was just domination. I didn't see that coming. Nobody did. None of the experts. I'm a fan. I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be, but nobody said Riders are going to go in there and win this game by 25 points. 27, whatever it ended up being. Nobody was bold enough to say that.
Yeah, no. Okay, text messages here. Riders are 12-3 since Trevor Harris came back from injury last season. You gotta like just any kind of football. You've watched it your whole life. Maybe you coach. Maybe you played back in the day and your high school coach was rough on you and he didn't give you water when you ran up and down hills and stuff. Whatever. You got to see what he's doing at the quarterback position. He gets rid of the ball. Like, I still think there's been some hits that he's taken. And at times he wants to, looks like he wants to scamper. And it's like, whoa, Trev, how about we just do a little slide down here? Trev, how about just give her, what are you doing? If you're watching the stream, we have the Edmonton.
That was the play that I was worried about late in the Montreal game, to be like, you don't need to take a hit like that all of a sudden is going to cost the Riders potentially games or maybe even their season. It'll be an innocuous play that means nothing in garbage time, And
Antoine from Regina, feeling good, cautiously optimistic. Next 4 games are going to tell the tale on how the rest of the season should go. Hamilton, Calgary, then the Winnipeg back-to-back. If we can sweep Winnipeg, I'm convinced we're winning it all. Just hope to stay healthy and get the guys back before the end of the year. Josh, big Maz fan. You see that on the Twitter feed. Nice to see you back.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Josh,
It's good.
right on. Thanks for the message.
Oh,
Thanks everybody for the messages.
Yeah. I have I know we're totally don't have time for it right now, but I have a neighbor update. But it's a good one.
Oh, yes.
No. Don't. I don't want to.
Neighbor guy.
No, it's
Dion from Parts Unknown, I think. Jake Mayer scares nobody. Did we say he scares anybody? I don't think he could go in and manage a game, though. I think Jake could go in and manage us, especially late in the game. Load management style.
There's no backup quarterbacks in the CFL that are scaring anybody these days. Like you'd said, you got to go in and manage what the situation is. And
I think, again, just me. Don't be like, hey, expert guy. Coaching, if you got a top tier offensive coordinator, whoever your offensive coach is, you put a backup quarterback in, it's like the puppet regime. It's like a video game, right? Like, look what Dinwiddie did with Arbuckle in the Grey Cup. Hey, we're just going to manage. We're going to steer you through the snowstorm, buddy, and you're going to get home. That's all we're going to do. And I think we could do that with Jake. Jake's played this year. I don't think he was the sample size that we're going to hang our hat on by any means. Brandon, big fan of the program. Love this team. We can play with anyone and compete and win. We've shown that. Going to be a good one. Our defense versus Bo and their offense. Then add our offense. We should win handily. That is an interesting game coming up in 2 weeks. It's an afternoon game. Back sweat game, as I call them, if it's hot out at Mosaic Stadium. Oof. Remember back in the day, we used to go to, it's 1 p.m. Remember the games we used to have at Mosaic? 1 p.m. games? Cargo shorts. Just take the cotton top off.
I have to say, although there's going to be a lot of people to be like, shut your mouth. That Stampeder game being in the afternoon the next day, it was nice to have an afternoon game again. That 5 o'clock on weekends sucks. Labor Day needs to start at 2 o'clock. And I get it's for TV. Afternoon games in Saskatchewan at Mosaic are awesome. They always have been. It makes for such an atmosphere because then you get the afterwards and a short morning. And should be good. My big thing, we're 7-1. Hamilton's 6-2. They're the hottest team in the league. The past couple weeks, teams have been able to shut down Kenny Lawler to a degree. Now they've still won, but Kenny, whether he's played with the Bombers, did he play for the Elks?
Did he?
Kenny seems to do, for a year. Yeah. Guys go try Edmonton for a year. Like, you have to go get money, even though, like, if you're Geno Lewis, like, I hope that paycheck, you love it because your team sucks. You made a bad business decision.
I'm a big Geno fan. Leave Geno alone.
Me too.
Leave Geno alone.
But you guys got lucky last week. For the rest of the season, it's heartache and pain. So, yeah, Kenny Lawler, that kind of scares me. All in all, but we're Rider fans. We love to complain, and we're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's the other thing, too, and you know that.
Keep them coming.
Happy.
We're getting a lot of texts on the YouTube channel because we're streaming this thing. So if you want to watch us, you can do that through sportscage.com. And then on the streams and then the old radio, 620 CKRM, 936-6262. Keep the comments coming. There's a lot to get to. There's one from Aaron in Yorkton here I have to read when we get back. Also, we're going to have some fun when we get back. A little bit to the expense of a TSN analyst, but it's not like we're totally making fun of him. We are going to have some fun. So if you're ready for a laugh on this rainy Tuesday, it's raining around the province for the most part. Get ready for it. Also, Maz, you started it by talking about the broom closet that Coach Mace was getting interviewed in Montreal. I looked it up. It was the pothole episode of Seinfeld. Elaine attempts to order takeout from China Panda, but her address is 78 West 86th Street, apartment 3E. They don't deliver across the street. So the China Panda, epic. And then you had the Kenny Kenny when Kramer's eating the Kenny Rogers Rose to Seinfeld in the first 15 minutes of the show. Here we go. It's the Sports Cage for Saskatchewan Lottery, streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM. Good chunk of people watching on the live stream, sportscage.com today. Josh is also saying the confidence is there, but all these wins and good talk about the team is just words until we win the Grey Cup. You are correct.
I agree. Look at Winnipeg. How many Grey Cups have Winnipeg been to? What, 4? Is that 4? 5 straight?
Yeah, what's going on there with their quarterback situation? Who's going to be playing quarterback when they roll in here for Labor Day? That's a good question. But let's stay on the heels of our Riders. Let's stay on the heels of this. I teased it. Another tease coming up, Pumpjacks Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse Trivia today. It's coming up at about 4:30.
If you don't know the answer to this question, text us where you live because we will come over. We're going to confiscate your Rider jersey, rip down the flag in your garage. We're going to steal all the beer out of the fridge, but that's for a different reason. You do not consider, if you can't get the question right today, do not consider yourself a Rider fan. Stop. Cheer for another team.
It's for $100 at Pumpjacks Cathedral. You can belly up to the bar like Mike and I did and just guzzle draft. You can order their dry ribs. I'm a dry rib connoisseur. Dry ribs and gravy. 2 things that I think I know a lot about. Dry ribs on point, bone in. I haven't tried the gravy yet. But you can, if you don't know
$100. If you don't know the answer to today's question, turn in your Rider Nation doesn't want to know you. All right? A lot of new people jumping on the bandwagon. Thank you, but we're pushing you off the other side.
That's at about
We're going to turn into Canucks fans. Yeah, 4:30, 4:40.
About 4:30. You got to call in too. So you got to be near a rotary dial telephone or a cell phone. Okay, Curtis, here it is. Did anyone else see this on Twitter? God bless this man. Dave Naylor from TSN. I appreciate the hustle. Look at this. I thought it was a joke at first, and I'm like, he's really throwing it out there. If you're driving on the radio right now and if you're driving and listening to the radio and you haven't seen it on social media, Dave Naylor from his authentic Twitter, he says, I have November, December, January availability at my place in how do you say this place? Placencia, Belize.
In Belize.
Yeah, I've never been there. Have enjoyed renting it to followers on X. DM me for details on a great unspoiled vacation spot. It looks beautiful.
Sure, but what are you doing renting to your fan base off the internet? Like, that's nuts. That would be like saying, hey, that would be like Darian Durant saying, hey, I got a room in my house. Anybody want to rent it? Here's my personal cell number. Call me. Let's chat. Although I did talk to him on the weekend for about 45 minutes. I was that guy. Anyways, that's nuts. If he feels he can do that and not have nut jobs renting,
I think we should. Hey, it's a bye week. Things are going to be slow here on the Sports Cage. It's tomfoolery. There's going to be a lot. I think we should just bring back, what was it called? The flea market? And incorporate it into the Sports Cage. Anyone got any rental properties that they want to get out there?
Share.
We can do it right now. Timeshare? People are probably selling timeshares.
Sure. Now, I've been getting this call for about 3 years. I'll give you the Coles Notes version of this. They call me up. It started at $499, but I have them down to $99. If I say yes and go to at least one timeshare meeting at one of these locations, I will get 5 1-week vacations for $99 US. And I just have to attend one meeting. Like, let's say if we went to, which one is it in Vegas? The one with the lazy river and the no casino. Why can't I think?
Tahiti Village?
Tahiti Village. If I go to there and I sit through the meeting, it's an hour and a half and there's food. I will get. Vacations are so expensive now. I'm to the point where I was saying to my wife, I'm like, what's the word? They can't make me buy anything. They can't force us to do anything.
You know how to get out of those things a little bit? If they bring you, this is an old trick back in the day, is you try and get some of the whatever they're giving you up front, and you're with your wife, and then you say, wife got really sick. It's just me. They won't do it with just you. They got to have you both there. So then they're like, can you come back later? And I'm like, okay, well, I'll go see how she's doing. We'll go see. There's a Joffrey loophole for anyone that's looking into that. But I'm serious. If Dave Naylor can hawk his timeshare on Twitter, we're open. The phone lines are open. Let us know. What do you have a basement suite? Are you is it haying season? No, it's not. It's getting close to harvest. Got to have some farmers out there that are looking for items. Couch and love seat combo from the cabin. Maybe you're upgrading. Used beds are gross. We don't want any beds.
People will buy them.
I used to do Trading Post. Remember when we used to work in Swift Current and I was down in Shaunavon? Mm-hmm. And I think it was Trading Time, Trading Post. It was like, looking back now, it was so much fun. That guy that would call in with guns. Like, he was from what area was he from? He had, and he would like rattle off these Lugers and all these other like, and I'm like, what are you getting ready for down there, bud? Borderline. I don't think he had grenades, but I bet you he knew how to get his hands on stuff. Trading Time, Trading Post, Flea Market, whatever it is, that's a ride. Let's bring it back.
Like, and if you're going to do Tupperware, it's got to have lids. Tupperware without lids. We used to get a lot of Tupperware with no lids. Good condition, but no lids. That's not a complete set. We need, like, if you have an 87 Ford F-150 still in good shape and you want $700 cash and maybe a bottle of whiskey, you're not going to drink and drive, but maybe you sweeten the deal, whatever it is. Now's the time. We'll sell that for you. And unlike the auction houses, what do they charge, Barney? Because you've got auction clients. Is it 3-4%? We'll take 1%. Me, you, and Curtis. Curtis gets a new man bun.
Sure.
I need a lot of things, and I don't know what you would spend the money on. Flag football supplies.
Yeah, we're getting. I don't know. We got our first entrant into SportsCage Flea Market for the week. Benny from Winnipeg. He had a nice little win on Sports Select, he said, too, this weekend. He said, thank God the Elks fumbled. He says, Barney, got a 2-bedroom townhouse condo I need rented in Harbor Landing. Jamarcus Hardrick lived below me last season.
Nice.
Okay. Benny.
How much?
Yeah, we need the details on kind of what you're looking at. A 2-bedroom. Can you sublease it? Keep them coming. 936-6262. I want to find out the can of worms we can open up with this. Luke Mullender's failed to log on. I think Luke might have forgot about our hit today, to be honest with you. But he can't be sitting in his pool, because I looked at the radar. If you're in Saskatchewan, there's a good chance you're getting rain right now, especially in the middle part of the province. From Saskatoon all the way down to, it looks like, Estevan area. You're kind of in the clear a little bit if you're in that Hudson Bay, almost Yorkton too, that area, and then out in Kindersley. Where's Roscoe when you need them? It doesn't look like they're getting any rain, but we're getting dumped on in the middle part of the province here, which is good. It's nice to get a little rain. It's supposed to rain all week. Yeah, junior club championship at the Royal Organic could be an interesting situation because kids these days don't think they need rain gear. I got a jacket. It's going to be raining for 4 hours. You think that jacket's going to do anything?
We're coming off the August long weekend. And if you're a parent out there and you put your hand on your forehead and went, the kids are home for another month before they go back to school, you're out of ideas. I was out of ideas 3 weeks ago. Everyone's crazy. Oh, jeez. Another month. Man.
While we're on parenting, this is going to hit home for a lot of you out there. If you're driving, you might want to pull over. Parents, this is on you. If you have a child that has started driving in the last 5 years, so they could be 21 years old, 22, and you did not explain to them when you were on a highway with 2 lanes, the slower people go in the right lane. You leave that left lane for people that are going to pass. That's on you, parents. Because on the way to Waskesiu this week and on the way back, I am finding 50% of the people that are doing that are young drivers. Driving schools, I got a bone to pick with them. We've been through this on the program. I don't think they're living up to their end of the bargain like when we were kids. But it is on you, parents out there, to let your children know, listen, you are an absolute pigeon. If you drive in this left lane and people pass you over here, it's easy to figure out. We all figured it out. Scooch over. That left lane, if anyone passes you on the right side, you're a pidge.
Hashtag champagne problems as you're driving to the cabin in your sport utility vehicle at Waskesiu. Because Barney's coming through and he's probably on his cell phone with the tunes cranked and he can't get to the McDonald's drive-thru in Prince Albert fast enough. So get over. I will wreck you if we stop for gas in Rostern. I will wreck you.
Oh, we stopped in Duck Lake. Nice little farmer's market set up in the back. As soon as the wife and daughter saw that, it wasn't Hutterites, it was the Mennonites. As soon as they saw that, I couldn't even park. They jumped out. I think the vehicle was still moving, and they ran there and dropped about $70. We got hamburgers, we got peas, we got carrots, we got lettuce, but possibly a cucumber, everything. And they can't wait to go back. I hope it's open. Anyway, left lane, parents, sit down with your kids today, have the talk. Hey, get over here. We got to have the talk. And then explain to them the left lane is for people going faster. Only see, people are texting in. They get it. They get it. Josh is also, you're a big fan. He says he's a guitar teacher, and he's got a band called North of Dudney. Where are you playing? I'm a sucker. Is it cover band? Oh, he's playing at Pumpjacks. You know who Pumpjacks should bring in? Have you seen that cover band Blink 182 from Mexico?
Yes,
it's
I saw
Juan.
them. They showed up on my they showed up on my Instagram algorithm a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, they're like a Mexican Blink 182 cover band.
They get that accordion going. Oh, makes me want a cerveza.
Can Curtis pull some of that up?
I asked him to play it earlier. He said he didn't have anything. Okay, waiting for Luke. We're not sure where Luke is, but this is the other thing with the Riders. How good, and we talked about it at the start, I see those white jerseys in Montreal or Vancouver, and it's not going to be good, but they hammered them, slapped them around, dirty sack beating. It was awesome. How good is that? You're in your 20s or 30s. You're going into a bye week, and you just pounded Montreal, and you probably got a night in Montreal with the fellas. Let your hair down, boys.
Or you're skipping the plane. Be like, nah, I'm good. I'll get my own way back to the States for bye week.
Yeah. Oh, what great hub.
Can I do a little victory lap? Because I've been on the Dante Myers train since last year at training camp, and to see what he's doing this year, and I think he probably played too many games last year, so he can't be the rookie of the year this year. But if there is a guy that is really coming into his own, that this is a nice piece of scouting, that he's going to become, I think he already is vital to this offense, and hopefully for years going forward, Dante Myers, no matter what route they're throwing him, he is coming down with the ball. He is going to get it, whether it's across the middle, on the outs, he's returning kicks. He's just doing it all. Just Mr. Versatile. Just, man.
He's from Brooklyn, eh? Or born there.
Really?
Anyway. Yeah.
Would have been nice to see him down the stretch last year when we could have used a...
Played college football for Presbyterian Blue Hose. Not a very big school. So whoever is in charge of scouting this guy, yeah, he's good.
But this is classic CFL. Some guy from some nowhere school comes up and somebody saw something somewhere at one of these camps and is just, and the other thing too now is, all right, so some of these guys, now we're going to have to, once these rookie deals are over, you're going to have to lock them up. You can't let a guy like this go. Because if he's on a standard 2-year deal, and I don't know his contract situation, but let's say it is a standard 2-year rookie deal. Maybe they're 3. But yeah.
He attended Atlanta rookie camp 2023.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. Is there any chance that he gets plucked for a look down south next year?
Well,
he's only 5'11". Looks taller on TV.
Oh, Blink 182.
Let's go into
Turn
break.
it up a little bit.
Let's go into break with a little Blink 182. Curtis has it going. It's a Sports Cage. We're streaming at sportscage.com if you want to watch. Why would you shut that off?
Why would you shut that
off?
No, like we're going music into break. There. Nice.
And we are on the home of Blink 182, 620 CKRM. Welcome back. Maz is with me. Curtis is in the pocket today, producing things for Saskatchewan Lotteries, the main fundraiser for sport, culture, and recreation in our great province of Saskatchewan. Okay, back to our flea market. Benny says, Barney will take $1,600. We'll take $1,575 on a 1-year lease. I'll give you $100 commission. Benny, no longer from the Peg, back in the Queen City, baby. Grey Cup Parade at Portage and Maine. Riders host the trophy. Last dance, Benny. Okay, so if you missed it and you're just tuning in, we'll run through this. Dave Naylor from TSN. Naylor from TSN. On his Twitter, he's renting out his timeshare or place in Belize. If you're watching the stream, there it is right there. You have to appreciate the hustle of this guy. I don't know. Maz, to your point, I think I would be a little scared, dicey on this. I'm sure there's a filtering process. It looks beautiful, though. I've never been to Belize. I could see myself sitting down with a cerveza there in a can because you don't want glass by the pool. That would be awesome.
I wonder if Belize is like Costa Rica, because my friend Internet Craig, he had a partner in his company, but then the guy apparently stole a bunch of money from him, and then he's been in Costa Rica ever since, because I don't think they have extradition laws. So I think if you're shady, you move to Costa Rica, because nothing bad can happen. They can't touch you.
Bill from Chilliwack says we're the best sports show in Canada. That's subjective. That's
Bill.
Thanks, Bill. But that's very subjective. I think we would be in the top 100, personally. Top 100 in Western Canada for sure.
Did you see that? Oh, it was a couple of weeks ago. The Time magazine put out the list, the top 100 podcasts today, and Joe Rogan wasn't on it. Joe Rogan's number one, and so you can guess what kind of magazine Time magazine is these days. Top 100 podcasts, and Joe Rogan doesn't make it at all.
CBC Radio 1.
Thanks for the kind words.
Bill in Chilliwack wants to know, will the CFL have a 10th team in the next 5 years? That's a really good question. 5 years isn't a long time. I got into a debate with family members this week about their neighbors that just cabin got sold. And I'm like, wow, they've been there for like over 10 years. And they're like, no, they've only been there for like 4. And I'm like, COVID was 5 years ago. Like we got a real bum steer in our lives here, because everything kind of got bunched together. I feel 2015 to last month was all bunched together. Like I kind of base everything. I don't know if you do this, on where my kids were born. I'm like, 2011, 2000. Okay, yeah, 2000. Yeah, it was before that. But Bill, I don't know. I would like to see it. Here we go again. Here we go again. I think you need to base. This is just top 100 sports shows in Western Canada. Pigeon Barney talking here. You need to base the CFL on 10 to 15,000 fans a game. And I know that's going to sound crazy, but you got to base it on that. You got to base it on the TV deal, whatever gambling deal you can bring in. It's like paying your bills at your house. How much do you have coming in? How much do you have going out? And base it off that. Worst case scenario, I'm a glass half empty guy. I would like to, then that opens up, which I've said my favorite place would be Quebec City. Instant rivalry. They would get crazy there. Fanatics. That's where I would go first. I know people are going to say, Atlanta, Canada, if they can build a stadium. Do you need a big stadium? Really? When you think I don't think you're going to get back to the crowds of the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, because part of my thing is kids can't do anything for 3 hours. So don't even, we're going to get the kids involved. How? My wife might co-host with me on Friday, and she's somewhat of a child expert on the child brain, and she's like, good luck. So I'd like to get her and I want to get a child psychologist in. I think children, until they can start gambling, it's tough. Then
God, you have the best and the worst takes.
But I'm serious. Like, what? How else are they going to get entertained? What are they going to get? Because everything's on their phone. It's a TikTok world. Everything's quick with them. Boom. So then the other thing is, I counted this weekend, just in kind of close friends-ish, 18 people were gone to their cabins. I don't have a cabin. I use a family cabin. I know so many of my friends that now own cabins. They own expensive boats. They got to get to the lake. And then they have other families joining them. Back in the early 2000s, that wasn't the case. We were all poor, and cabins weren't that plentiful, if that's the right word I'm using. Think about how they've expanded, and people out there are like, think about the lake that you go to or you used to go to, and now how many more cabins are there? People, our demographic, get out of the city and they go, and nothing stops them. Back in the day, everything stopped for a Rider game. It was like, don't have your wedding, don't go here, don't plan that, Rider game. It's changed, and it's not good, it's not bad, it's just how it is now. This is what I think. So we gotta base the league on a realistic forecast of attendance.
Does Pumpjacks have VLTs so we can take your kids there on Thursday? Maybe we'll spend that $100 gift card. Can we cash that in?
I don't think my kids would be...
I had a boss in radio. She was a better gambler than she was a person. Like,
you got 30 seconds.
She was the cold play. She's getting caught at a concert, but she was really good at gambling, VLTs and casino wise. And I'll agree with you, because watching any Calgary game, it looked like there were 600 people at Commonwealth Stadium on Saturday watching that Elks game. So I agree. As long as you need fans in seats, you got to play to the lowest common denominator of, you need 9,000 fans a game. You got this much revenue from this. You got this much from that, because you can't go start another team when you have Calgary and Edmonton bleeding out with under 10 grand a game in cities that have over 1 million people in them. You can't.
And that's the other thing.
Business model has to change.
That's the other thing. It's over 1 million people. How many of that 1 million people, A, are functioning humans, and B, could care about the CFL? It's shrinking. It's inevitable. Anyway, we got to go to break. Producer Curtis is telling us we're getting long in the tooth here. It's the Sports Cage. Got a lot of text messages to get through. 936-6262, Prairie Land Rentals text line. Thanks to everyone who's hammering the like button at the YouTube channel at sportscage.com. And, of course, we're on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM. Riders, of course, on a bye week, but get this, Labor Day now sold out. 33,350 going to be there rocking out Labor Day Classic. Maybe they'll release some standing room. I'm not sure. Riders are now the fave on most futures to win the Grey Cup as well, down to plus 275 for all you sprinklers out there. Interesting games this week. Thursday, BC and Hamilton, and then Sunday, Winnipeg is in Calgary. Western Canadian Baseball League playoffs are set in the East. Regina is going to face Medicine Hat. Starts tomorrow in the Hat. Saskatoon's up against Moose Jaw. Okotoks takes on Brooks, and Sylvan Lake versus Lethbridge out in the West. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays back in Colorado for Game 2. They slapped them around 15-1 yesterday. Aaron Judge has been activated from the IL for the Yankees. And NFL news, Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison has been suspended first 3 games of the year without pay for violating the NFL substance abuse policy. Sign up for the latest news from Riderville with the Sports Cage Insider Report. Sign up today by clicking on Insider Report at sportscage.com, and you also have a chance to win. Hour 2, we're back with more Flea Market, Buy and Sell, and Arash Madani. It's the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM. Welcome back, Hour 2. Maz is with me, and Curtis is in the pocket over there. Saskatchewan Lottery's main fundraiser for sport, culture, and recreation in Saskatchewan. Text messages. We got a lot to get to in the next little bit here, Maz. People are stirring. It's so easy to stir the pot on some things in this province and then this country, because we have like inferiority complex. It's like, so we kind of just started talking about the CFL, and I don't really want to get into this because it's more of a flea market day. But Do people honestly think in 5 years from now it's going to get better? Like now Calgary is going to go, they're going to have 28,000 again. Most people do think that, and that's a very optimistic way of thinking. It's not going to happen. It's too easy to watch on TV. Now, I'm not getting into the CFL stinks. It doesn't. It's very entertaining. What they're trying to do is entertain us. It's very entertaining. A lot of things are very junior hockey is very entertaining. SJHL, doesn't matter what. That is AAA midget. We talked about flag football, unbelievably exciting and entertaining. Seriously, wait till they start gambling on that and watch that thing explode. Man, I can sit down and watch horse racing. So the entertainment is there. It's just people aren't going to games anymore like they used to. Maybe once or twice a season.
To every person that says the CFL needs another team, can you show me on your credit card in the past 18 months how many tickets you bought to a CFL game, the one that's in your area? All right, then you get a vote. But why does the league need to expand? Get better at what you have. One of the things that I would love, and I've said this for a long time, because it's 9 teams, a 5 and a 4 division, new commish this year, Stu Johnson, if you're listening, scrap that. Go 1 through 9, top 6 make the playoffs. Look at the standings right now. If the Riders in Hamilton got the bye, check out what 3 through 6 would be as far as playoff matchups goes. No different than the NHL. I would love to see a 1 through 16 for the playoffs. Oh, the interdivision. Oh, look at it. You're probably going to think if Toronto and Ottawa, that means if they stay bad, it's crossover time. But just look, you've only got 9 teams. Make it 1 division, top 6 make the playoffs. 1 and 2, maybe 1 and 2 don't get a bye. You just play 6, weekend 1.
Don't mind that play. John the Habs fan, thanks for messaging in. He's just saying Edmonton and the Stamps, what's happening. He says it's an NHL country. It always will be.
Yeah.
I think there will always be a place for the CFL. It's just we're not going to. This is just my thought. Kids nowadays, they could give a rip about anything. They ain't sitting down to watch 3 hours of like a hockey game even. So I don't know what you're going to do there. And then what my gambling thing, when they become legal age to start gambling, then they'll maybe get more. I don't know. Because gambling is the big thing. Like you can sit there and go, oh, the devil. It's here forever. It's everywhere now. Then Dan in Regina says, put a team in Saskatoon, instant rivalry. Wouldn't that be a great thing in a perfect world? It'll never happen. But that would be fantastic. I think Quebec City would be the instant rivalry, and then we get 10 teams and maybe roll from there. But you have to base the CFL on 10 to 15,000 butts and seats. The TV deal, whatever else gambling brings in, I don't even know what the other revenue lines are, and then you build everything from that. You pay people off that. You can't spend more than that. And you know what? The Winnipegs, Saskatchewan, Amar Doman, when he brings in Shaka Khan or whoever to open up the season next year, he'll get a big crowd. But other than that, the crowds aren't there. It's not. If it happens, I'll have egg on my face. I'll make a sign and pick it up and down here for half a day.
The Edmonton Oilers going to the Stanley Cup final the past 2 years in a row are more nails in the coffin for the Edmonton football franchise because people want to jump on that. Like, look at Leon Draisaitl. I probably spent 5 minutes on the weekend looking at wedding photos from his big shindig over in France on the weekend because he got married. Minus the Stanley Cup. What's with Oiler fans automatically thinking they're getting back to the Stanley Cup final next year online? Like, what did you do this summer that thinks you're just automatically going to be there? Stop.
Calling from Saskatoon, I missed this one earlier. This was a statement game for the Riders. I was looking for against Edmonton in the week before. Okay, he was looking for that kind of finish the week before. Yeah, they did step on Montreal's throat a bit finally. They finished it. Then they went off on a bye week, and they come back and I think we'll be rolling. I think this guy, we're at the corner of 12th and Rose, and I think a guy in a black Denali who's never driven in a downtown before just hit the City of Regina parking sign, and he might have some front end damage. Do we have a collision center? RMP Collision Center. So we got a bunch of text messages to get to. And then before we get to Arash, bring it up. Never met the man. He's awesome at what he does. Dave Naylor from TSN. Who isn't loving this? On the weekend, on his X account, if you're watching the stream, here it is again. He threw up. He's renting his place in Belize. He's rented it to followers on X before DM him for details. A great unspoiled vacation spot. It looks amazing. I appreciate the hustle of this guy.
Maybe Arash has stayed there because Naylor lives down east.
That's why I wanted to tee it up. Let's get into Arash. Curtis isn't ready.
It's time to go coast to coast with Arash Madani for Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Gawley at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
You never know what you're walking into in this, right, buddy?
Every time I hold my breath before the Brian Gawley jingle comes on, thinking to myself, what does he have in store today?
Well, would you go to X and hawk or sell any of your items? Maybe an old fridge that someone could use as a beer fridge in their garage. I don't know.
I've never been to Belize. I've never put a refrigerator on X. But to each their own, I guess. Yeah. I was listening to the conversation, guys. I think you're both right. When it comes to putting butts in seats in stadiums, here's what's happening across sports, especially in outdoor stadiums, especially in ballparks, more than anything else. The game is becoming less and less relevant. The experience entering the turnstiles or the swipe of your app, that matters more than anything. There are more public places for people to gather and get together. No one's sitting in seats anymore for 3 hours. But if you have gathering spots with bars, etc., if there are areas for kids to hang out in, you go to San Diego, you go to the ballpark in San Diego, they have the second biggest wine selection among any restaurant or bar in the city at the ballpark. They have something like 40 different craft beers. There's areas. My friends don't want to go sit in the seats at the Rogers Center anymore. When they go to the ballpark in Toronto, they just want to just kind of hang out and keep an eye on things and yell when they see a home run. That's where things are going.
But do they want to go to every game? They want to sprinkle in a game here and there, right?
Look, what Winnipeg has done in their new stadium and the Rum Hut and the end zones is made it a place to be. There are a lot of people in that stadium following the game, and there are a lot of people in that stadium who aren't. And that on a Friday night is fun and it's cool and it's a destination. But outside of season ticket holders and your hardcore audience, I honestly believe there is 7,000 to 10,000 people going to that stadium who don't really know what's happening with the football team and probably couldn't name you more than 3 or 4 players.
I think it works. It works because it's the spot in the city to go on a Friday night, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let's say 7,000 is your number. Okay, I think in Regina at Mosaic or Saskatchewan, I would think there's 2,500 people, 3,000 that are doing the exact same thing at Mosaic. They're just going for the party. It's like buddies FOMO. We got to go. Like Labor Day is the prime example of that. So sure. If you stagger it or you go off population, we're probably right in line with that because Manitoba does have more population than us. So we are getting that here too. For the life of me, Arash, I can't say how we fast forward things 5 years, 6 years, and all of a sudden in Edmonton and Calgary again, we got full stadiums. I don't think that's ever happening.
No, I agree. And especially the way McMahon and Commonwealth are now. Like those places are such archaic rows and rows and sections of seats with no amenities, with nothing there. You walk in, you would know if it's 1985 or 2025. You know what I mean? Like
the concrete jungle.
Sure. And Montreal was the first. Like you go back 25 years when they were forced to move into Molson Stadium from the Big O. They were the first to really embrace it being an experience there by accident. And it's like the joie de vivre of Montreal and Quebec and all those things. But that's kind of where live sports has gotten to. You go to the new basketball arena in San Francisco, the Chase Center, where Golden State plays. There are more in a basketball arena. The concourses are wide. There's so many gathering and meeting spots where you're not even seeing the floor. And it's packed during games. It's just a social atmosphere. And people like these decision makers have to get away from the thought process of air quotes selling tickets. You have to sell an experience for a night out, not a ticket to a sporting event. That's a big part of this.
And a lot of people, everybody has the idea and they want to fix things. They want to do this. It's like everything that boils down to the NHL. Everybody leans, salary cap. You know what? There's more to it than that. To me, make it, if you've got 9 teams, make it the best 9-team league that's doing professional football out there. However that needs to be. Bigger's not always better. New isn't always better either. Sometimes go back to the old. Go back to I look at like what Barney says in the end zone above Pill Country there, where they have the bands at Mosaic. If you turn that into a party deck, basically, and those are $20 tickets, it's standing room only, it's just bar after bar after bar. And if you want to watch the big screen, you can. And if you want to visit with your friends, it's just another option. I know Barney and Sharky love to get on the fact that there's no tailgate. Make that the in-stadium tailgate, because then you get all their money too. You get all of their money too.
I don't think we have enough population, functioning human beings that would go to a football game that the rest of the stadium would look even more empty, because everyone would want to go for the $20 get buckled on the concourse ticket. And then,
I don't think everybody. I think
a lot of people
that would end up there, a lot of them are likely people who haven't been coming to games as is. I think what that would do is draw a newer audience that isn't going to the stadium. That's just my take.
I purposely on Saturday sat at family member's cabin, and there was from 12 years old to, I think there was to 30 years old, there was probably 12 human beings in that demographic. I was the only one watching the Rider game, and I was into it. And the only thing that 3 of them came by, I purposely was like a little bit of a test pilot here. They came and said, "What's the score?" And then they went, they left. "What's the score?" That's it. So we could go on.
Now my question is, and I hear you, that's August 1st in a country where we have 10 nice weeks of weather a year?
A province.
Right. What if it's pouring rain outside, or what if it's, Halloween and it's miserable outside? Does that change? Maybe. Nobody's sitting in front of their television on August 1st watching the Blue Jays out at the lake. But if you're doing Thanksgiving with the whole family at the lake, and the Blue Jays are in the playoffs playing a 4:00 game on a Sunday or Thanksgiving Monday, is everybody watching? Maybe. I don't know. So I think
the younger demo, and you'll meet my wife next month, and we can have this chat. And she'll talk about
later this month, 3 weeks from now, bud.
How curriculum has changed, and how the children and how they think, how their brain is nowadays. I just hockey, football, basketball, anything. It's a special kid that'll sit down and watch a sporting event. But
yeah, I remember. I'll tell you this story, and we can move on after this. I remember in 2019 when the Raptors were doing their thing. And I was covering the Blue Jays at the time, and the Jays are a 97 loss team. They're on the long road to nowhere. And one day pregame batting practice or something, Ross Adkins, the GM, I'm like, Ross, there's nobody coming to games. He's like, yeah, the Raptors run is really taking away a lot of our fans. And I just looked at him. I said, dude, the Raptors you're not competing with the Raptors. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, you're competing with cottages. You're competing with patios. You're competing with restaurants. You're competing with house parties. You're competing with the musicals and the theater. You're competing with people's disposable time and money. It's not just one sport against another. And at that time, he had just come from Cleveland. He had no idea what I was talking about. But I think we also have to remember there are choices people have, and there are things they want to do with their time. And there's less time and less money that people have now more than ever. So it's a fight right now for sport to get eyeballs and interest.
But then there's some people that have places in Belize. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Okay, so last week, I like chatting with you because we can talk a plethora of sporting topics.
Yeah.
This Canadian, now we got a tennis player, a Canadian that's making waves.
Who's 18 years old.
Yeah.
18 years young, Victoria Mboko, whose family is from the Congo. She was born in the U.S. As a very young child. They moved to southwestern Ontario, who began the year 333 in the world, is now into the top 50, will play in the semifinals tomorrow. If you're watching on the stream, we just showed you match point when she beat Coco Gauff the other night, a 2-time Grand Slam champion. This has come out of nowhere in 2025, and Mboko is just taking Montreal by storm. The crowd chanting Victoria, Victoria. We kind of saw this with Bianca in 2019. She went on to win the U.S. Open. But this is an 18-year-old kid on the rise. I've been hearing about her from the junior development people for the last couple of years. They said, don't sleep on this Mboko. I'm like, okay. And it's now all happening right now. And it's happening at home in a WTA 1000. It's pretty amazing.
Because usually when it comes to swimming and, I don't know, Kurt Harnett, throw him in there. That was an Olympic sport too. Tennis, anything like that. We only really talk about these people, I feel, in Olympic years. But now with what Summer did in the pool last week, that was everywhere. And it's the downtime for sports in the country. And then now what Mbako is doing as a tennis player, it's kind of captivating people.
It really is. And I really think the out of nowhere part enters the conversation here. I think the fact that she's doing it in Montreal, if this was happening in Tokyo in the middle of the night, we probably wouldn't be paying as much attention. I remember being in Montreal covering the tournament in 2017 when a then 17-year-old or 18-year-old Denis Shapovalov beat Rafael Nadal. And I took the subway the next day to the tennis, and everyone on the metro platform was just like, chapeau, 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 chapeau. These things kind of gain more and more momentum. And now, she's in the semifinals of an elite tournament. Outside the Grand Slams, the 1000s are the biggest ones on tour. So entering the top 50, guys, she's now put herself into this kind of next stratosphere where nobody kind of expected it to happen. So it's a pretty amazing story.
And I know that watching Wimbledon this year while we were on vacation, I was able to, because my mother-in-law loves watching tennis, and I lost the fight for the remote control many days in the living room at the condo. But to see, because a lot of in tennis now, Arash, and you know this, a lot of those you mentioned Nadal, a lot of those big stars have moved on. They've retired. It's a whole new generation of young tennis players coming through. So there is room for these upstart 18-year-olds and the 19 and the 21-year-olds. A lot of them are people you've never heard of, but all of a sudden a tournament comes along and then boom, and then they get their spot. And then they become part of the conversation and they go from there. And I thought Wimbledon this year was just like that, where you're seeing, I call him Alcatraz. My mother-in-law hates it when I say it's not Alcatraz. I'm like, we're just joking around here, right? We're watching tennis. This is crazy. But to see that younger generation come through, it's wide open now because all the old guys are gone.
I'm here at the tournament in Toronto. I was talking to Andy Roddick as part of a fan event. And he said, I would have lost my house if you told me that, 3 years ago, there'd be two guys who are rivals, 1 versus 2, neck and neck, playing in majors with Sinner and Alcaraz right now. It's amazing, guys, isn't it, how sport is generational and it's kind of passed the torch from one era to the next. We're seeing it now. It's happening again. Crosby almost seamlessly passed it on to McDavid. On the American side, what we saw happen with the Tkachuks. And obviously now here.
Oh, did we lose Arash?
Arash.
I think I'm back.
Yeah, you are.
They're back.
Yeah.
Is it
Did I
AI?
see Summer McIntosh's face up there on the screen before
Yes.
it froze up on me? I just want to say one thing about Summer, guys. Just went to the World Championships, won 4 golds and a bronze. It's just becoming rubber stamping this every single time we're here in O Canada when she gets in the pool. It's just crazy.
Okay, we went really long here, so we only got time for a couple more because it's already almost the bottom of the hour. We got people waiting for trivia as well. But let's a little bit of CFL here, Arash. Tiger Cats game this weekend in Hamilton. I'm very intrigued by this game. Is your boy Shea going to be there?
Shea is going to be there. It is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander Appreciation Day in Hamilton. NBA champion, MVP coming back. He's going to the Ticats game. I don't know if he's going to have the Larry O.B. with him, but it's going to be great. There is literally nothing in it for Shea personally, financially to go, but he's going to be there, and he's going to sell some tickets. He's going to sell more tickets than anybody on the Ticats will. For a pretty important game in a rematch for BC against the Ticats. That
game and the Winnipeg-Calgary game. 2 intriguing games. With us with our Riders on a bye week, we can kick back and we're hoping for a tie.
Right.
In Calgary, right. Winnipeg. Yeah.
To me, the question is, if it's going to be different for BC, they have to get to Bo. They need to get pressure on the quarterback. That's something that the Lions just weren't able to do, just generate some kind of pass rush. If they do, they have a chance. If not, I think it's going to be a long day at the office.
We get to talk about this again on Thursday. Thanks so much. While we were doing this, Ron in Weyburn says he does have an old fridge for sale that works. Would be perfect for a beer fridge in a garage. So when you come into town in a few weeks, if you want to check that out, I can rip you out to Weyburn.
Hey,
yeah, that's a great idea. Ron, if you tag me on Twitter, I'll retweet it for you to let everybody know that it's available. And tell you what, Ron, put whatever price you want on it, and we'll split the proceeds. Half goes to a charity of your choice. I promise to. If you tag me on social media, I'll pump it out on Twitter for you.
Or Barney, is Ron thinking he wants to sell it to Arash, like Arash needs it for his place in Toronto? And if Canada Post strikes a new deal, we'll just put it in the mail. They'll be pumped, ready to go.
I think we put it in the SportsCage studio, and we fill it with Lucky Lagers and Dr. Peppers, and away we go.
Arash, we've had the cable cut off before in that studio. We can't have it full of beer. And what if the power
Western
gets shut
pizza
off?
Leftovers?
If you do happen to run into Dave Naylor, though, let him know kind of ballpark what he charges for that place in Belize. Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
For the month.
For a month.
Yeah. You never know.
Is there a direct from Regina to Belize?
Yeah. I get into buying and selling the fridge business. You never know where this could lead to, boys.
Yeah. We're on to something. Thank you, Ron.
See you Thursday, Arash. Coast to Coast with the Arash Madani for Brian Gawley and Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Gawley, because if you are smart with your money, then you can maybe take Dave Naylor up on his tweet and head over to Belize for a month. Curtis, you want to throw it up on the stream? We got lots of people watching the stream right now. Some of them might have missed it. Dave Naylor. God, this is awesome. He's got his place for rent. You can DM him on X if you want to go and rent a place in Belize. And then, I don't know why more people don't do this. Like Maz is going to ask Darian tomorrow if he's got a basement suite to rent in Florida. Figure it out. Okay, now's the time to start calling for Pumpjacks Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse.
Just a sec.
$100 on the line to Pumpjack. You can go there, fill your face, fill your boots. Benny said he went there. The Philly, what was it? Oh, I got a text here. I think it was Ben. Somebody went there and said the Philly cheesesteak is out of this world. Now, of course, I'm craving a Philly cheesesteak. But how it works, start calling 936-6262. Curtis is going to pick one of the callers. You're going to have 10 seconds to answer the question that is Rider related. You got 10 seconds to answer it. You want to give any other hints, Maz? It's Rider Grey Cup related. That's going to be the question. That's the only tease. That's all we get for tease.
If you get this wrong, stop listening. We don't know you, and turn in your Rider jersey. Drive to the store. Drive to the Rider store. Sorry, I cannot uphold this in good standing.
You have to call 936-6262. It is the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM. Clutch performer time. Maz, do you got one? Oh, we're waiting for Maz. My first is, this isn't any parent that's ever given driving advice to your kid that the left lane is meant to get for passing. Because if you're listening earlier, parents, we failed the youth. They drive in the left lane on highways. Drives everybody insane. Maz, do you have one?
Yeah, my guy, Glen. Clutch performer. He's my garage door guy yesterday. Go to open the garage door. We were all going to get the kids, speaking of bad parenting, Slurpees, because God knows we hadn't got them one in a couple of days. Hit the garage door button, boom, cable breaks on the one side. Garage door on a tilt, breaks the rollers. Stuck halfway up. Both cars trapped in the garage. 2 p.m. So here's me, Googling. Anybody that's 24/7, holiday Monday, probably going to pay through the nose. And I'm like, we've all played this game. You start phoning around till you hear a live person. Because if I get a message, I'm on to the next one because I'm trapped in the house.
Yeah.
So I phone.
Go ahead.
And I get this lady and she answers and da. So like an hour and a half later, Glenn shows up, cool as a cucumber, fast, efficient. And I think what I paid was reasonable and just a good dude. Gave me some tips, gave me some free stuff, made me take pictures off his phone. He's like, you need this kind of lubricant. You need to do this and all that. So Glenn, lifesaver.
Probably buys garage doors from Steelcraft Doors. Regina, the other one, it's on sportscage.com. 3-peat for the Southeast Steelers. Women's softball team. 3-peat Canadian champions. Good job, ladies. You can see the story at sportscage.com. All right, that time of the week where we play Pumpjacks Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse Trivia. Pumpjacks. It's at the corner of Albert and 13th in Regina, before or after a Rider game. Perfect. But on a weekend, they got live music. Josh's band's playing there this week. I forget what they're called, but they're going to be awesome. Is it this week they're playing? Corner of Albert and 13th. Lots of taps. The food is supposed to be on point. Everybody that's messaged in that's been there. Okay, so we are playing. Do you have the ticker and all that, Curtis? I know. Okay, we're ready to go. Okay, we're going. And Aaron's his name. Aaron from Yorkton, you are ready. Are you ready to play?
I was born ready, buddy.
Attaboy. All right, Maz is going to read it.
Yeah.
Curtis is going to start the ticker.
Aaron, you tell me when. You tell me if are you ready to roll?
I'm ready, bud.
Okay. So do I read the question and then we start to 10 seconds, or do we start to 10 seconds?
Don't overthink it. Just start reading and Curtis will hit the ticker.
Okay. All right, Aaron. Who scored the first touchdown in the 2013 Grey Cup?
Oh boy, would that be Andy Fantus?
Oh, I love the effort, and he was one of our favorite guys. But no, that is not the right answer.
Aaron.
Oh.
That's okay. It's for $150. Is G. Roy Simon
another call?
No, it's G. Roy Simon.
Oh, 2013. I'm sorry. I got 2007 in my head. You're right.
That's okay. You can try again next week because you didn't win, and we're playing for $150. You know what? You still get a lunch. You still get a lunch to Pumpjacks Cathedral. Curtis is going to take all your information. Are you the Aaron from Yorkton that messaged in earlier about your idea?
Yep, that's me.
Hey, now that we got you on the line, I like this idea. Tell people out there what your idea is.
I was thinking that for season ticket holders throughout the league, what the CFL should do and partner with the teams is that they should sell sponsorships and give them a card, like a VIP card, that you can go to different sponsors. Like, for instance, because sponsors are always asking, they want to see what their advertising is doing. So, say, for instance, you sell sponsorship to Pumpjacks there, they get 10% off their meal when they show their season ticket card. And then the CFL also has some national sponsors that they get on board that you can get discounts at national chains. Like, for instance, the Kick for Win company, there for the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I know you
okay,
don't want to see advertising on the air, but and then also what you can do this too. This is an extension of that. Is if you're a season ticket holder with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, you call and you want to go take in a game in Winnipeg or Calgary, you get some kind of discount on their tickets. So you promote other teams' fans coming to your stadium and promote that way. And then, and with that, you can also attach tasks like go to a game in Calgary, whatever, and you get points or whatever. And at the end of the year, you can get discounts on season tickets with your points that you gathered going to different teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, just kind of a snowball effect. I don't mind it, Aaron. I like where your thoughts at.
Got to get bums in the seats, right?
Yeah. And
even if it is the other teams, right?
Maybe even, I like it. Aaron from Yorkton, great idea. And then maybe even discounts at Airbnbs and Belize if you get crazy with that card. It can be an app. Doesn't even need to be a card, an app.
I do like that, and maybe that's a league thing, that if you are a season ticket holder,
you got to get his info. Yeah.
That if you did want to go to a game in another city, be like, because how many people, the Riders are in Calgary on the 23rd, and there's a lot of us that used to drive from Sask, go watch the Rider game in Calgary, in the Durant Getzlaff era and all that stuff, in the glory years, because it was packed and the games were sold out. So you needed to plan ahead of time to get your tickets. But if they were to kind of promote that, now no other team is going to give a discount on their tickets because that's money that they're going to need. But if there was somehow, some way that maybe it's the CFL that picks up every season ticket holder, there's only X amount, but there's 2 tickets there for you, and the league covers it off or reimburses. Let's say it's the Stampeders, the Bombers, there's only X amount, and maybe it's only certain games, but to promote that.
I love Steve J on the YouTube feed is saying, life is too short to be cheap at a CFL game. Buckle down, have a few beers, not be stingy. Season is short, so not a huge sacrifice to buy a few pops at the game. Steve, it's a good way to look at it. Life is too short to be cheap. The next time somebody tells you that they're close to a recession or we don't have money, just cruise them by one of those nail salons that are everywhere now that women go to, that drive their big fancy SUVs and they go get their nails done every week, and be like, no, things are okay. People have money. Look inside that window. And then look across the street. There's another one now that just popped up. So yeah, good stuff. Aaron from Yorkton played along. Thanks so much, Aaron. We will play for $150 next week. Pumpjacks Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse Trivia, located at the corner of Albert and 13th here in Regina. It is a great spot. Someone said try the Philly cheesesteak. I said the dry ribs are on point. So yeah, go into that. Okay, so we got to take another break. When we come back, this is going to be an interesting one. We're talking flag football with former Saskatchewan resident, maybe she still is, I don't know, Amanda Ruller, coaches a female flag football team down in the United States. It's a Sports Cage. We're streaming at sportscage.com. Thanks to everyone who subscribed and hit that like button. And also we are on the home of the Rider, 620 CKRM. On this Tuesday for Saskatchewan Lotteries, main fundraiser for sport, culture, and recreation in Saskatchewan. Maz is with me, and Curtis. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. It's raining out. It's not very nice out. You don't want to cook or barbecue. Get a Western Pizza tonight. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, all the Greek food you love. Visit your Western Pizza. Joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline, Amanda Ruller. She's the head flag football coach. I love it. For Eastern University. I had no idea they're playing flag football in college. Amanda, thanks for taking time today. Brief me on that to start with.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. I was born and raised in Saskatchewan. I'm actually the running backs coach at Eastern University for the men's team, but I'm the head coach for the first ever women's flag football team. So we're NCAA3. We're Eastern University, which is in Wayne, Pennsylvania. So I'm just outside of Philly. Born in Regina, moved to Philly, and this is where I live now. So part of this, the NCAA installed flag football for the first time ever. It was just a club sport, so now full varsity. What that means is these girls will be getting academic-based scholarships or athletic scholarships to actually play football at the college level. And it's really exciting now because I am at the forefront of that. I am a head coach and I am building a team, getting those jerseys, booking the games, everything these girls need to do to make it successful. We started in January and we had a full season. March and April, we played 18 games and we actually got second in our entire conference. In our first year, we were 14-4 with the conference games, got second in the conference. I won coaching staff of the year, so we had a good season.
I got a 12-year-old daughter who loves flag football, actually decent. So I'm like, this is so great, not to state the obvious, for any of the females that are coming up playing the game, with Regina having the biggest flag football league in North America per capita. This is amazing for the females.
It's a great opportunity because I wish I would have had something like this when I was going to university. I went to the University of Regina. I was on the track team as well as the soccer team, but I promise you I would have played flag football. I played Team Canada Women's Worlds football, and if they had flag at the time, I would have went to university for flag football. I actually did an internship with the Riders, part of their women's program there. I was with the Seattle Seahawks. I got to do an internship with the Cincinnati Bengals, and this summer I got to work with the Minnesota Vikings. So to say I love football is an understatement.
So what is the makeup of a flag football team? How many players? Where did you find players from last season? Like, obviously college is all about recruiting. Like, where are the tentacles going as far as finding the championship squad you want to build?
I think that is such a great question. So right now we have 18 out of the 50 states are full sanctioned in high school. So all of these high schools across the United States will have it based within their school. So that way I can go to their schools, do a visit, and I travel everywhere to California, to Colorado, to Florida to find these amazing athletes to recruit for my college. I am a coach in college football, men's college football, so I know how to do recruiting already. I used the same framework, the same model, and ended up recruiting an amazing team for the upcoming season.
So what teams are, you're just outside Philly. What's the travel like?
Yeah, it's a great question as well. So we'll go everywhere to New Jersey because it is quite close. It's around 20, 25 minutes away. We'll go to Virginia, sometimes New York, but I can actually book games wherever. So we have lots of games within Pennsylvania. We're planning to make a trip to Florida coming up in this next season.
What's the NIL money like these days for women's flag football or whatever? What kind of six-figure deals can I get my 13 and 10-year-old daughter in a couple of years, Amanda? Because we're not going to lose your number, and we're going to stay in touch. As their agent, what are we talking here?
No, that is a great question as well with the NIL space right now. Division III, there's not too many, so you could be the first person to get that going. And as a coach myself, I've been trying to get my girls some deals such as that, like free socks or be promoted by a jersey company, little things just to promote them along the way. But the Division I is where it's at for those NIL deals to be a little bit more substantial, a little bit more money. And right now it's just club in Division I. So Division III and a little bit of Division II is where flag is at right now in the NAIA space for those deals. So hopefully it will get bigger and better along the way.
So you mentioned that it's big in the high schools in the States. Are we seeing the same kind of pattern like we do with college football and high school football? The Texas, the Southeast, into that, maybe some California sprinkled in. Are you seeing that with flag as well?
Yes, believe it or not, Florida had flag big in their high schools years and years and years ago. So they're one of the biggest spaces, the biggest, baddest. They have some of the best college teams out there. Ottawa and Kansas is such a good flag football team. They have never lost one of their games. So they're a great space for flag football as well. California is good, but Texas is better. So these are the three places that I look to recruit for college flag football athletes potentially.
What about the Canadian girls, Amanda?
I am Canadian, born and raised in Regina, and honestly, if any Canadian girl is listening, I want to bring a Canadian girl on my team. I've come down to Regina, I've scouted some of the events down there, and even in Ontario. I would love to get a Canadian on the team. It is quite easy. I actually did university studies, got my master's degree in the States. It's really easy to just come to the States, get your F1 student visa. I know the process. I've been through the process. It's a lot easier than a lot of people think. So I would like to get a Canadian.
Your DMs are probably going to get filled up. Hey, can we ask you, because just looking at sort of your background, the past 10 years of your life seems pretty crazy. NFL training camps are going on right now. You said you've been fortunate enough. You spent time with the Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. What's Joe Burrow like as a quarterback up close? Like, we see him on TV, and he's one of those guys I root for. He hasn't necessarily had a ton of success in the playoffs. They always seem to start 0-5 or whatever. But to me, he's intriguing. Is he as advertised or better in person?
I would tell you he's better in person. One thing I picked up about him is he's quite smart. And a lot of the time they let him run some of the team meetings as well as the offensive meetings when I was sitting in there. And it was cool to see him at work because he definitely is a leader of the team and they run the entire offense right around him. And I actually got to I was helping out with quarterbacks at the time. So I got to sit in the meetings, help just pass balls to him as he's throwing. Just watching his drop back and mechanics is something I try to emulate when I coach my quarterbacks on my flag team.
Jeez, that is so cool. Okay, we're gonna definitely keep your number and your email because we gotta continue this chat as we go along air. So are you gonna have any ties to the Canadian women's flag team that's gonna be going to Los Angeles?
I don't. I would love to, though. That's something I've been passionate about. I played on Team Canada women's tackle team, and I would love so much to be involved with the women's flag team. That's been a dream of mine. So hopefully down the road, you'll see me.
That's right. We'll keep pitching it. Okay, we're going to keep in touch. Amanda, thanks so much for this and shedding some light on it. I hope my daughter is listening because, I love where flag football is going, and it's going to be a thing. And I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, on. Head coach, Eastern University women's flag team. Who would have thought, Maz? Amanda Ruller, originally from Regina and Saskey here.
Hey, Barney, do you have any Joe Burrow stories to talk when you're coaching up your kids? Well, she does.
Yes, I know a Joe Burrow. He went to Pleasant Hill Elementary School in Saskatoon, spelt differently. Joseph, we called no. God, I can't wait to talk more football with her, more flag as we get closer. Okay, we got to take a quick break. Curtis is telling us it is the Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com. Some of the text messages. Riders on a bye week, obviously. Labor Day announced today, sold out. 33,350 crazies will be there. CFL games this week. Thursday it all starts. BC is in Hamilton. Western Canadian Baseball League playoffs are set in the East. Regina is going to face Medicine Hat starting tomorrow in the Hat. Saskatoon's up against Moose Jaw. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays back in Colorado for Game 2 tonight. 15-1 win there yesterday. And Aaron Judge has been activated from the IL for the Yankees. Oh, NFL news. Vikings receiver Jordan Addison suspended 3 games for violating the league's substance abuse policy. That's without pay, too. That's your sports ticker in hour 2 for Extreme Hockey and Sport, where they have the price match guarantee. Find a price, show them, they'll match it. They're local. They are Extreme Hockey and Sport. Hour 3 coming up. We will talk to Glen Suitor. It's a Sports Cage on 620 CKRM. Welcome back. Third hour, final hour of the show. Maz is with me and Curtis. It's for Saskatchewan Lotteries. This hour, too, we are playing SaskTel Pick the Score. You got a chance to win tickets to the Riders Tiger Cats on the 16th. So, not quite 2 weeks' time. It's a 1 p.m. game. 936-6262. What do you think the score... Actually, it's not for tickets for that game, is it, Curtis?
Yeah, I was just going to say.
It can't be.
How are we going to do... The game's not going to be played.
Yeah, no. We're playing Pick the Score for the 16th. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is live radio. We can't even rewind this and delete it. Pick the Score for the Riders Tiger Cats at 1 p.m. on Saturday. in 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. And then you get a chance to win tickets to the next home game, which would be, is that the Labor Day game?
Sold out.
Wow, that's a win. Wouldn't it be? Yeah, it is. You'd win a chance. You get tickets to the Labor Day game. So regardless, what's the score? If you want to forecast it for next Saturday, Tiger Cats and Riders, 936-6262. We'll compile it. Curtis is going to spin the wheel, pick somebody. You get win tickets to the next game, which is Labor Day,
Okay.
and a chance to win a $200 SaskTel gift card. I'm still fixated on people on X selling things.
Are you trying to recover from the Queen City X? Well, if you missed the news, apparently it was a good year. The shocking stat that stands out: the 76 kids that got lost, but luckily were reunited with their parents. That makes me feel good. As someone who's never lost a child in public, very scary. And there was only one bear spray attack, apparently.
Yeah, they had the security buttoned up. It was pretty good from what I saw. Lots of officers. See, there was the police officers in the regular police gear. Then they even had the police officers in the camo, in the army style gear.
Oh, like SWAT team stuff?
Kinda.
Nice.
But you knew those guys probably were they take things to a next level. They don't want any screw.
Yeah.
They don't want any farting around.
If you're a cop and you're wearing a jumpsuit, and I mean that in the best possible way, like you're wearing like fatigues, basically. You're not a uniform with the dress shirt and all of that and the dark pants. Those guys that drive like the armored vehicles and stuff and have like 8 pairs of handcuffs on them, don't mess with those guys. They probably sit around all day waiting for action. Just waiting. I saw
something on social media too, where police officers shot at somebody with a beanbags. That's a thing? Beanbag.
Yeah, so there's beanbags. There's
why not
like
just
plastic
use a taser?
bullets.
Why not
There's
use a
taser?
taser?
Sometimes you're too far away for a taser. What they do in Europe quite a bit, have you seen this, where they just take the really high-powered nozzle on a fire truck and just spray down people? Like you can't stay on your feet. They just spray you down. To protesters. Look where we've gone from pick the score to bear spray attacks to now we're spraying down protesters. Keep your elbows up, pal.
And don't forget, we are kind of reincarnating Flea Market on CKRM.
Oh, yeah. If you missed hour one of the show, since it's the bye week, there's not a ton of stuff to talk about. I mean, there's the Jays, but Dave Naylor from TSN is renting his condo in Belize. We think it's a condo. He just put it up on X on his normal account just to like randos, like just random people on the internet.
What a play. I love it. There it is. It kind of looks foggy on my end here. But DM him for details. Never been to Belize. Looks beautiful. But yeah, it's a strong play. Probably the rent. Somebody maybe backed out, Maz. They had it booked for a month or two.
All I know is like this vacation stuff, because it's crazy, because the cost of everything going up. We already had to give a deposit for next year.
Yeah.
Just to hold the place. Like the days of, hey, can you put me down? We'd like to come back. And they say, yeah, okay, great. If you could just send the money. That's your, hey, that's where we're at in today's world.
Yeah. And then if you're trying to rent anything, that's where a lot of people are kind of doing the elbows up Canada thing. Good for you guys. Going coast to coast.
No. Not happening.
And then if you're renting anything in Europe or the States, they all want you to send it in that, what is it, Venmo? You use it, don't you? Or you can't in Canada.
No, I have to wire the guy money from the bank.
Yeah.
Bank. It cost me like $65 to wire money, because you cannot send bank drafts across to the States are illegal. They won't do them anymore because of fraud. So if you want to send money to the States legitimately, if this is allegedly a legitimate transaction, you've got to wire money, and that ain't free.
Call up Frank Abagnale. What would you do in wiring this money?
Catch Me If You Can. The best movies ever. Can I just say, are we still waiting for Suits?
I think we got him now.
Oh, you do? Because I was going to say, being in Hawaii, it's awesome. But I thought this is crazy. It seemed like everybody there has a handicap placard on their car, no matter who you are. And I read in the paper the second day where there 7% of all drivers in Hawaii have a handicap placard. Because when you go to the beach, there's no parking.
Oh.
If you have a handicap placard, so it doesn't matter who you are, able-bodied, everybody has one. That, and Barney, I know you were spanked as a kid. I was spanked as a kid. It is 2025, but when you go back there, mom and pop justice happens wherever it needs to. On the spot. We were in Target for about 60 seconds and some little guy was acting up and it was time for mom to lay down the law. A little spanking there right in front of the Starbucks by the till at Target by the self-checkout. I'm like, whoa.
Did you hear some dad go, "Don't make me take off my belt"?
Ooh, that was the worst. Mom and the wooden spoon I could handle all day long. When dad got involved, nope. You can't talk your way out of that one.
You tell kids nowadays how they used to have straps in schools.
Oh.
And they're like, but did you see the picture?
Now?
I know. I got to send you a picture. My son threw out a phone book yesterday at the cabin from 2013. I don't know. Mom kept a phone book in there. And he stood at the recycling bin. I got a picture of him for literally 20 minutes just in awe of what a phone book was. He's like, what? People would put their number in here? And he was like finding people he knows from PA. I'm like, yeah, call them up, see what they're doing tonight. When's the X on in PA?
Suits will love this because now we're of that generation. We talk to our kids about our feelings, and then if things really get extreme, we take away their iPad for up to an hour at a time.
Let's go.
Maybe we give it back to after a half hour.
Let's talk to Suits.
Time now for press coverage with CFL and Saskatchewan Roughrider legend Glen Suitor on the Sports Cage. Brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090.
There was no way, Suits, back in 1989 when the Yellow Pages and the phone book came out in Regina that your number was listed.
It was.
What?
Oh, yeah. All against David Williams in that game against BC. Every time I think that I've finally forgotten it and blocked it out of my mind, something comes up where it comes back and sneaks in. But yeah, when I had that pass interference call and Matt Dunnigan scored 2 touchdowns with, I don't know, no time left on the clock. And we lost the game that almost put us out of the playoffs. And my pass interference call, which was blatantly bad. Long story behind it. I won't bore you. But that penalty, I had a listed number. And whoo, there was some calls I couldn't even repeat. And, you know, it's at the time, my wife answered a lot. I had at one point, I just said, I can't do this anymore. And she was answering and just saying, oh, just, you know, whatever, and hung up on him. But it was a bit of a challenge. And yeah, no, that was a mistake. It was a private number after that.
You were probably one of the first people that had a Maestro phone where it came up with the name, who was calling, and number. Some sort of deal with SaskTel back in the day, because I'm shocked that you had your number listed. That's crazy. The Riders absolutely rolling.
Yes,
they're buzzing. Is there a better time to go into a bye week than hammering Montreal in Montreal? Like, I'm sure the fellas let their hair down after that one.
Well, yeah, and a lot of the guys may have booked flights home.
Mm-hmm.
Those in the East flying out of Montreal go straight home, take some time with the family, and then get back to Regina. But yeah, you know, it's a double-edged sword in some ways. I mean, on one hand, 7-1, you're rolling. You go into Montreal, you beat a very good team. As my partner Dustin said, it probably changes the Grey Cup odds and favorites. That win in Montreal, and you know, I'm not putting those teams in the Grey Cup just yet, but you know, they are favorites based on the first third of the season. So, you know, they went in and handled them. I won't say easy. I hate using that word because it's never easy, but they're on a roll, as you mentioned, Barney. And when I look at the play of Trevor Harris, and in our post wrap up, I get a chance to correct myself. I took 2 years off his age. I called him 37. He's actually 39. And to see the level of expertise he's bringing here's what I hope we don't do, and I hope the fans don't do it. Certainly the other players and coaches in the league. I hope we don't take for granted excellence, because it's really hard to win at any level. You guys know that. I mean, hockey, flag football, whatever. It is really hard to win. And when you do get on a roll and you are playing excellent in all the phases of the game, different guys are stepping up at different times. Defense wins one night. Dante Myers wins another. Keyshawn Johnson is a big game in one. Sam Emelis, they're finding different ways and different people to win. Let's not take excellence for granted, because they are playing great.
Glenn, one of the things I said to Barney right off the top of the show, a lot of us were confident that the Riders could go in. They play a good game. We can win. I had to check after the game. I don't think anybody had a blowout. Nobody had definitely a 28-point cushion or anything like that. Montreal has some injuries. We have some injuries. They were obviously on their second-string quarterback. What was it in person that you saw? Because, I mean, it's not like Montreal had all backups playing or whatever, but it just seemed like the Montreal defense just couldn't get to Harris. They just could not get any pressure at any of the key times.
Yeah, I think that was the I won't call it a surprise, because they're playing great, but I would say the dominance by which the offense took care of a defense that gives all kinds of people, the best quarterbacks, the veteran quarterbacks in the league, that defense gives them problems at times. I mean, there's so many different looks. They drop defensive linemen. They rush defensive backs. You can't. It's difficult to count them up front. You're not sure which guys are coming and which aren't, and so the offensive line can easily be confused. Even veteran O-lines, and that's how they are so dominant. They take the ball away at a high level, and that's why they're dominant. And Trevor Harris had the answer no matter what they tried, and they tried some different things. They tried full blitz. Harris got the ball off with the hot reads and the blitz beaters. And then they tried to drop 9 on that touchdown in the corner. I think it was, who was it that caught it in the corner? Was it Keyshawn Johnson or was it
Johnson?
Yeah, Keyshawn, I think. Keyshawn caught that one. That was 9 droppers. So nine people drop, 2 safeties on top. So that clogs up the middle. That's dangerous throw in the middle. And Trevor Harris not only has the time, but he has the wherewithal to recognize the defense immediately and know that his safest throw is the outside shoulder to Keyshawn Johnson in the corner of the end zone. If he doesn't get that, then it goes incomplete. No big deal. They kick a field goal. But he puts it right where only Keyshawn Johnson had a chance at it. I think that play was maybe the best example of just the level of excellence that Trevor's playing at right now.
What if there's one thing that you think the Riders need to maybe button up a bit post Labor Day here, what would that be?
That's a great one. One would be, let's fill the stadium other than just Labor Day. I love that they're filling it. Let's fill the stadium for the Hamilton game too. That's home field and enjoy this fantastic football team.
Are you coming in for that one, by the way?
I'm not. I'll be there for the Labor Day matchup, though. I will be. So I'm really looking forward to that. But let's, what could they fix? I think their defensive line, I made the mention on the air that, and I sort of phrased it in the form of a question. Is this the best D-line collectively in the league? Mm-hmm. And I think it is right now. I think it is. CJ Rivas, I just checked some PFF stats, and CJ Rivas is one of the top defenders in the league. He's been targeted. He's 3rd in targets, but he's only given up 1 first down when his area or his man has been targeted. So CJ Rivas is playing off the hook great. You saw the interception from Thurman, and their secondary's intact. I'm not sure, Mario Alford getting him back, that brings another threat to the table. And, okay, here's one, Barney. Tighten up the penalties. Let's get back to real consistent 5, maybe 6 penalties per game. They didn't have a problem with it in Montreal. And I think they had about 60 yards in penalties, which you can live with. The problem is when you get to like 120 yards, that's the problem. And that can cost you a game. So if there's anything that they can, it's that discipline, it's buckling up, making sure that you're playing with great concentration from start to finish when it comes to, lazy penalties.
Okay. Here's another one for you right now, because we're in a bye week. We get to do this again on Thursday. If there was a team right now, if everyone had their healthy quarterback too, preface it with that.
Yeah.
Who would pose the biggest threat to the Riders?
Calgary right now, I would think, or Hamilton. Calgary in the West, Hamilton in the East. The way Bo's playing, Bo and Trevor, that's that's a pick 'em, because Bo is on top of his game, as good as I've seen him ever in his career. So there's that. But I think the Riders have slightly better defense than Hamilton. So when you add it all up, there's an edge there for the Riders. Calgary beat them. So with Calgary, with their healthy receivers and Vernon Adams, that might be the biggest challenge right now.
A couple of things.
We would have automatically said Winnipeg for the last 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not this year.
Watching the game Saturday, Suits, when it was out of hand, there was a couple of things. I thought, this is a good night for Brett Lothar. There is absolutely no pressure on him to try and build some of his confidence back. And I know you talked about how his kick percentage was going up but it was good. We didn't need him. There was no pressure there, because you're going to need him. You're going to need your pressure kick guy. So that was kind of nice, where he was part of the game, but he wasn't. He was part of the game, but he wasn't a factor. Nice. There's 7 minutes left in the game, and it's 31-6. My only question was, why is Trevor Harris still playing? I don't care, put anybody in there. Get him out of there, because is that an acronym? My THSH of Trevor Harris stays healthy. That's our key to success this year. Yeah. In a garbage time where a guy's not afraid to take a 15-yard penalty at that time, or if something crazy happens, or a fluke football play. That was my only, because now we're Rider fans. We're never going to lose again. We have to complain about when we win. That was my complaint. Why is he in there with 7 minutes left and the game's a blowout?
It's funny you phrase it that way, that we have to find something. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Honestly, I'm always shaking my head. I understand that 2 possessions, so basically 16 points. So if you have a 16-point lead, you can tie that game and extend it in 2 possessions. Now, it means you need to score twice and get the 2-point converts twice. So that's tough to do. But in 2 possessions, you can come back and win. So or tie the game and extend it and then win in overtime. So, I think as long as it's 2 possessions, then I understand leaving your starter in there. But if you get to 3 possessions and you start doing the math at around 7 or 8 minutes, I know you can get the turnovers and things like that, but I think the risk-reward equation and discussion, the risk is way too high, and it's too punitive if you lose your guy when you've got a 3-score lead because he follows through on a throw and hits his thumb on a helmet or something. And, it could be as silly as that, because that happens every now and then. I'm taking him out. I would have taken him out earlier than they did. I think in some ways, though, Maz, it's probably respect for the opponent. Like you're saying, this is a good defense. Things can turn quickly.
No. You got to take them out. You got to take them out. And you got to have confidence in the other guys that they can kind of keep the ship going.
No question, Barney.
It's not like we're putting in a guy in jeans that was in the parking lot smoking and tailgating. You're putting in capable players.
What kind of cigarettes? How much did he drink?
Yes, no, you are, and that's the point. You know, everybody is contributing, and that's what I really like about this team. This team is a great team, and they're taking different guys take their turns, stepping up and being the guy in different games. They've won with pick sixes. They won with the big sack game against Edmonton. They've won with Myers having a big game, Emelis and Keyshawn having a big game. I mean, the run game has been big in a couple of their wins. So it's different guys in different phases and different sides of the ball in every single week, which is a great sign because it means you're a solid team that believe in each other. So that also should extend to the backups. You know, Jake Mayer started a game and won. Now, it wasn't massive stats, but he did what he needed to. And in that game, A.J. Ouellette has over 100 yards rushing. So play calling probably helped in that regard. You know, and I just think, listen, guys, I'm trying to make an argument for what a coach might think, but I'm with you. I'm 100% at around the 7-minute mark. With a 3-score lead, 3-possession lead, get your starter out of there. They're too valuable.
If I was coaching too, I can't do this in flag football, but if I was coaching at that level, even high school, if I go back to coaching high school again, I would run everything to as far to the outside as possible, because you know the other thing that freaked me out in that game was when we were running the ball and our offensive linemen were up pushing. And you know when guys get hit sideways into a knee, and all of a sudden, I'm paranoid. I get that, but you know what I mean. Just keep everything to the outside, and then run out of bounds. Don't take a hit.
Running out of bounds will stop the clock. So you get right
slide
to the
before
get right to the sideline, and then give yourself up, kind of thing. But I think you can't protect all the guys up front and things like that, but you can protect the quarterback. You really do. You really can. And I like your point, Barney, on you need to rely on the backup quarterback anyway. So you're not saying we're throwing in Joe Average. We brought Jake Mayer in for a reason, and we expect him to continue to run the offense and to finish this game off, maybe put another touchdown on the board and make it a 4-possession game. You know, so you should believe in that and not worry about putting him in the game.
Suits, on the weekend, I had a chance to talk with Darian. We had a nice conversation, and I had said to him, I said, Willie Jefferson is the reason that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers beat the Toronto Argonauts, because in the second half, Willie Jefferson took over that football game. And I know you didn't call that, but you probably watched it. That's where, as much as hey, Winnipeg, they're a little down or whatever, there's a reminder that one guy can affect the outcome of a football game, because without Willie J, Toronto makes a comeback and wins. What a performance.
Did it not look like, did it not look like if you've ever played football with your uncles back in the day and you were a kid and you were trying to pass the ball and they just swatted it down?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's this oak tree standing in front of you, and you have to try and throw it around him. And it's not just his size and reach. He has found a knack to do this. I mean, this is a skill set that not many guys have, to know when and the timing. And here's the other thing, from a schematic point of view, their coaching staff will often, on passing downs, stunt Willie Jefferson into the B gap between the guard and the tackle. That's the B gap on either side, strong and weak. And if he's going through the B gap, that is often the hot lane for the passer. So, you know, when he takes his outside defensive end rush, he can be high, and that takes him away from being able to block some passes down. But they put him back into the interior of the D-line on that stunt. He is right in the throwing lane. So they do that on purpose. That's the reason they put him in there, because he has the great reach and that outstanding timing. So yeah, he I think offenses need to game plan away from him or run it at him. If you're going to run the ball, run at Willie Jefferson and make him a run stopper. And then when you're throwing the ball, half roll away from him so he's behind you. I mean, I think you have to game plan against them. And there's not many guys in pro football that you have one player that you actually have to game plan against.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, well, we get to talk. What games are you doing this week?
I just have the Calgary-Winnipeg game, so I'm looking at those numbers now. And hey, I caught a little bit of your discussion, you guys, at the beginning. I wasn't sure where to go with it all, but I will tell you.
No one does.
I will tell you that Belize has maybe the second best scuba diving and snorkeling outside of the Grand Caymans. And, as you know, the Grand Caymans is an area that I'm familiar with. Mm-hmm. And the diving there is probably top 3 in the world. Belize is right up there. It might be ahead of Cayman as far as scuba diving, snorkeling, and all of those things with the dolphins and turtles and whatever. So it is. I'm not trying to sell.
Well, I was going to say, he's your co-worker. I appreciate your hustle as well. Stepping up for your boy Dave Naylor, try and rent his place. Have you ever rented his place, by the way? What kind of deal do you get? What kind of friends and family deal are we talking about?
I haven't ever done it. In fact, I did see that on social media, and I thought, I love Belize. I wonder if I can get a little bit of a, co-worker discount here.
Yeah.
Maybe we do the show live from Belize and do a little scuba dive, a little shark diving out there in Belize. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to go to that. All right. Hey, in the next few days, Glenn, you got to, if you're not on, I can't remember if you're on Twitter or not. We need some sort of buy and sell from you on there. You got to one up. Rent out, like Maz said, rent out a basement suite or something for the week.
Great scuba diving. And by the way, the other part of your early discussion, my father used to say this to me. If I was messing around the back of the car or whatever, this is what my father used to say. You got to promise when we get home. And if I heard that phrase, the belt was coming out.
Oh.
The belt was I knew it. And you just sit in the back and your imagination runs wild as to how bad this is going to be. And you get home and, yep, you got the belt across the backside. You got to promise. That was the word. I was like...
See, Suits, the way it is nowadays, when the kids get in trouble, somehow ultimately I end up getting in trouble for their behavior too from my wife, that somehow I could have nothing to do with it, but have everything to do with it.
Here.
Always.
Here.
Always.
Hey, use your Maz, use your words. We're talking about feelings now. Use your words. And let's discuss this from the beginning. And
OJ, I'm guilty.
1 hour without video games. 1 hour. That's it.
We got to stop this because we could go till 8:00 tonight if we're going down this train. Okay, Suits, talk to you Thursday.
I go to the liquor store and buy her Prosecco, and that doesn't even help. Like, come on. Talk about here.
End is near. Talk to you Thursday, Glenn.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Press coverage of the Glen Suitor. It's brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They will treat you right. It's 781-2090. Quick break. We're coming back. Don't forget, we're playing Pick the Score, 936-6262.
Are we?
I know it's early. What's the score? Tiger Cats and Riders a chance to win Labor Day tickets. It's a SportsCage on CKRM. Not much for Rider news as they're on the bye week, but we did hear today that the Labor Day game is sold out, 33,350. CFL week will start Thursday. BC's in Hamilton. That's an interesting one. Western Canadian Baseball League playoffs are set. In the East, Regina traveling to Medicine Hat tomorrow. They're back at Currie for Game 2 on Thursday. Also in the East, Saskatoon will be up against Moose Jaw. Major League Baseball, Jays in Colorado again. They hammered them 15-1 last night. Aaron Judge has been activated from the IL for the Yankees. And then NFL news, Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison has been suspended first 3 games without pay for violating the league's substance abuse policy. Sign up for the latest news from Riderville with the SportsCage Insider Report. Sign up today by clicking on the Insider Report at sportscage.com. That is your sports ticker for Steelcraft Doors in Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canada. They are now at their new 40,000 square foot showroom and warehouse. Stop in and visit them. Anything you need garage door, they have it at Regina Steelcraft Doors. Maz, you still there?
Give us
the
my
neighbor
guy
story.
Glenn yesterday. My guy Glenn yesterday, because we have a Steelcraft door, garage door. He's like, you got a great garage door. Installed properly, good, all the. He's like, yeah. Just unfortunate. He just, those cables, they break all the time.
Little creepy. Okay.
So neighbor story, bit of an update. You may not like this. There's been a lot of peace deals brokered over the past couple of months, most of them by Donald J. Trump, bringing countries and people together. So the other day, we get back from vacation, and I'm unloading the car. Neighbor pops out, hey, how was vacation? I'm like, oh, hey, I'm good. Just some
people
chit-chat.
that don't listen to the show, you and this neighbor don't get along, really.
Well, no, we've kind of had this thing. Since we moved in 13, 14 years ago, in between our houses, there's a strip of grass, and I always cut the grass. And at times, sometimes he doesn't. He'll cut his part and kind of leave a little bit, and I've never said anything. I know, got no boundaries, can't stand up for myself, whatever. Goes on and on years, and sometimes it happens with the snow, whatever. Like, at this point, it's not worth it. No use having family feud next door. But here's the update. 2 updates. Their son, who was living somewhere else, I think he was living in a different province, I think in BC, moved home 4 or 5 months ago. So now,
man bun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunate. Sorry, Curtis. So one of his things is now he's got to, because he's in his early 20s, now he's got to cut the grass and do stuff. So he's been cutting the grass. So he's been cutting the grass in between the houses perfectly, doing it all. And I'm like, this is great. So I'm like, okay, so it takes the animosity level down. So it's like, it's perfect. It's what a good neighbor situation is. But then he tells me, he goes, oh, and I said, hey, what was going on around here while we were away? He's like, well, I caught the neighbor at that house right there pouring paint down the manhole. And I'm like, he goes, so then I called bylaw, and then bylaw called the fire department. So the fire trucks show up. So we're not home when all this is happening. So he's like, yeah, I kind of felt bad because next thing you know, this lady, apparently she went in her house and wouldn't come out.
The paint lady?
The fire department, the paint lady, because they wanted to talk to her. Like, what are you doing? How much paint have you poured down? Because I didn't notice this, but you look all over our cul-de-sac, there's white paint all around the manhole. So I don't know if she missed it but apparently she poured in quite a bit before he noticed.
Would she do this in her nightgown? I'm picturing an older lady. Edna, maybe is her name.
No.
Lulu's?
She's between 45 and 60.
Okay.
And apparently, and I'm like, are you not, you do everything at night, right? Under the cover of darkness. Are you not from the west side of Saskatoon? The east side of Regina? Come on. No, middle of the day. So yeah, he just said, oh, next thing you know, all the neighbors are out and there's fire trucks and bylaw officers and there's all of this. I didn't think I was going to get her into trouble. I'm glad that I had nothing to do with that. Even if I saw her doing that, I just would have turned to be like, it's none of my business. You're not seeing this. She never talked to you. She's never been a problem. Her kids aren't over here trying to sell bacon for their hockey team or whatever you guys are always trying to scam people about.
You got to buy that bacon, man.
No. So that was the big thing away on vacation is he ended up causing a bit of a kerfuffle because he caught the neighbor pouring paint down the drain in the middle of the cul-de-sac. And that's a huge no-no.
But the son that got fired from his job or whatever he was doing in BC, he's now doing chores.
Being a good neighbor. Yeah, doing chores.
And he's cutting the lawn as per any normal human would.
Yes, like even yesterday, out there, I was lighting a barbecue, doing in between, and I go and because I'm just curious, right? I go and I check. I'm like, God, he did it all. I'm like, nice. It's great. And by the way, they got a new air conditioner I found out too. While we're gone. Great. Got a deal on it. Nice.
I want, pouring paint down the manhole cover. Almost as stupid as driving slow in the left lane on a highway. What are you doing? Like, have you not been on this planet for years? Hey, Saskatchewan Roughrider Foundation 50-50. I know it's a ways away. We don't play for 10 days or whatever it is. You can buy your 50-50, though, at riders5050.ca. The deadline for the early bird is August 14th at 5 p.m. The early bird prize, my wife is definitely buying a ticket this week. She really wants to go to this place. Sparkling Hill Spa Getaway. Package for two includes flights to Kelowna, because it's in between Kelowna and Vernon. 2 nights accommodations at Sparkling Hill Resort. If you've never seen this thing, it's a Swarovski. It's a diamond. It goes into the sky. It's amazing. Kerr Spa couples massage for 1 hour. Round trip transfers from the airport to the hotel. And a hot tip if you're a golfer, Predator Ridge is just down the road. So take your sticks and maybe just give that massage. Make it a mama can go for 2 hours. You can go swing the wrenches. Just saying. Riders5050.ca. Or you can just cash all that in, take $4,500 in cash. A lot of people might do that. That'd be a tough
West Coast bender. A West Coast bender. With a couple's massage.
I heard Kelowna is nuts. Like, especially in the summer. It's so busy, and it's you gotta have major lettuce to play there now.
It is. It's a rich person playground. You have a lot of retired NHLers. You have a lot of people, business people that's a summer home there, or they've retired there. Like it's for serious players. I'm
going around and looking at some of these resort communities and the cabins that people are building. They look like small hotels. It's like, what happened to, the old musty cabin? No running water. You get in there, you get a slop pail, get some bunk beds going.
We had one of those at Candle Lake right on the beach, Waskatima Beach, as close as you could get. But it was one of those, like there was the sink, you filled it with water. There was no running water.
And now it's the Joneses keeping up with the Joneses. It's like you build it and then some of these cabins, I swear to you, the front door is worth as much as a normal cabin or doorza. Who needs a 5-car garage at a cabin? I don't know. To each their own. Just don't let your kids drive in the left lane on the highway. Parents, have that conversation with them this evening, please. Because I don't know what we're doing as a society. Okay, Maz, we got Thursday. It's the Regina Red Sox. Game 2 against Medicine Hat. Short series. Like, anything can happen in these. The Berries, Moose Jaw.
So you see you got Regina, Medicine Hat, Moose Jaw, Saskatoon. West Division, you got Brooks, Okotoks. Ooh, Okotoks smells way better than Brooks. And Lethbridge, Sylvan Lake.
You're going to, speaking of places, Sylvan Lake, you're gonna talk more about it tomorrow. I think you're gonna have somebody on because you're hosting.
Yeah, so tomorrow Gary Brotzel is gonna be on with us.
Hopefully,
we got Murad El Khatib is gonna come on just after 4 and talk Regina Thunder. Their first game is this Sunday. They're in Edmonton. Take on, is it the Wildcats or the Huskies? It's funny. They got 2 teams there.
Thought it was Huskies.
Huskies, and then
they'll be drawing. They'll be drawing the same as the Elks will.
And then a special Wednesday edition of Double Talk with Darian Durant tomorrow. Yeah. Because yesterday was a holiday, and because of international trade laws and tariffs, and his elbows were down, we got him on a Wednesday.
We got the Red Sox report coming up right after this break. All things Red Sox with Teagan. SportsCage, streaming at sportscage.com.
Showcasing the boys of summer. Time for another edition of the SportsCage Regina Red Sox Report on 620 CKRM.
For Unifor 594, energy workers putting the care in career since 1942. Safety is our business. I'm Teagan Witko. The Regina Red Sox closed out their regular season schedule with a 9-4 loss to the Moose Jaw Miller Express last night at Currie Field, as Moose Jaw clinched the season series and the Trans-Canada Clash trophy on the road. Despite the defeat, outfielder Raphael Jackson continued his stellar campaign for the Sox, going 4 for 5 at the plate and swiping 3 bases in a standout individual performance. With the result, the Regina Red Sox finished the regular season at 27-29, securing 3rd place in the East Division. Regina will now shift its focus to the postseason, where they're going to be facing the 2nd-seeded Medicine Hat Mavericks in the opening round. The best-of-3 East Division semifinal begins tomorrow night in Medicine Hat before the series shifts back to Currie Field for Game 2 on Thursday. First pitch is scheduled to go out just after 7 o'clock. And that's your Red Sox report for Unifor 594.